Yo, what's up guys? Today marks the beginning of my Araxxor week. In the past I have already successfully completed 2 bossing weeks and 1 slaying week, and recently I've really wanted to get into Araxxor. So I thought what better motivation than to make a whole week out of it. So every day I'll be going to Araxxor for around 5 hours, and every day this week I will be uploading a video showing you guys the loot that I've gained in that day. And then at the end, we'll just do an overview and show you the loot that I gained throughout the week. And hopefully by then, we would have made quite a bit of money. Now, I am by no means good at Araxxor. The last time I did it, I don't think I was getting consistent kills because I was learning Path 1 and I could just really not get into it. But this time around, I just want to focus on it. I want to learn Path 1 properly and get quite proficient at Araxxor. Now, before we start, I do want to set myself some goals. The first goal is I want to be able to make at least 1 noxious weapon by the end of the week. So in order to reach that goal, I need the spider leg from each of the 3 paths. And I also have to have gotten 1 of the heads, so either the fang, the web, or the eye. The next goal is I want to get at least 275 kills by the end of the week. That would mean that I'm getting around close to 8 kills an hour. I actually think I'm selling myself short. I think I can get around 10 kills an hour on Path 1, but that's only if I manage to learn it properly. And currently only Path 2 and Path 3 are open, and Path 1 opens up in 4 days. So I have to go through the whole process of doing Path 2 and Path 3 for this 4 days, and then doing Path 1 whenever it opens up. And for those of you that do Araxxor a lot, you know that Path 1 is a lot quicker than Path 2 and Path 3. So hopefully it averages out so we get around 275 kills, or maybe even close to that 300 mark. And also something that I just want to mention is that these videos are recorded like 2 or 3 days in advance. And the reason I do this is just because what if one day I don't get to play Runescape that much and therefore don't get to fulfill the 5 hours? Well, then that's fine, because then I'll be like 2 or 3 episodes ahead, so I can just not do Araxxor on that day and then do whatever I need to get done, and there will still be a video for you guys on that day, so you won't miss a day. The last thing I want is to start off one of these weeks and not be able to finish one of the days. So just bear that in mind if in the video it's like Path 2 and 3, even though in real time when you're watching it on the day it's like Path 1 and 3. And the last goal is probably the main one, and that is that I want to get at least decent at Araxxor. I want to make it to the point where I can consistently not die, and if by the end of the week I get to that point, then I'll be extremely happy. And then who knows, maybe in the future we'll do another Araxxor week and then compare that to this week. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this week. I know a lot of you guys actually do enjoy my bossing videos, so hopefully this one is good for you guys too. Now before we start off, I wasn't going to make this video initially. I was just going to do Araxxor and not make it into a video. However, I got really lucky early on, and that motivated me to actually want to try and kill Araxxor even more. So I thought I might as well make a video out of it, because I am going to be spending a lot of time here over the next week or so. And if you've been following my Instagram, you'll know that I've been getting quite lucky already. If you don't follow it yet, there's a link down in the description. I made it a couple of days ago. I'm going to be posting a lot more on there because Snapchat is just shit now. So make sure you go follow that. But yeah, my first kill back, we got this. We got the spider leg middle piece along with a Triskelion fragment. So a really great first kill back. That kind of motivated me to carry on and kill more. And then around 5 or 6 kills later, we ended up getting an Araxxor's web. And that whole kill totaled to around 1 mil, not including the web of course. I think if you include the web, it's around 7 mil, I think, if you attach it to a spider leg. But we won't work out the prices now, we'll just do that at the end of the video. And then literally the next kill, we ended up getting the best drop possible, which is the Araxxor's fang. Now for those of you that don't know, this can be added onto a spider leg in order to make a noxious scythe. That fang alone is worth around 80 mil. So we just got back-to-back drops, we just got the web and then we got the fang, and I was extremely happy with that. And at that point I knew that I was going to be at Araxxor for quite a while, and that's when I decided to start recording. So everything you see from here on out will be live commentary. Bear in mind at this point we are about an hour in to the first episode, so we should have around 4 hours to go. Oh, and there is our first uncut onyx drops. A very nice 4 mil there. We are getting quite lucky. We've got a spider leg, a web, and then a fang, and now these onyxes. I'm finally cashing in all my luck at Araxxor, so hopefully this luck continues. Okay, so we're going to try and do Path 3 now. I usually do Path 2, just because that is the easiest one for me, and I heard Path 3 is like kind of slow, so I've always really done Path 2. I have done Path 3 in the past, but only a little bit, and I do actually have the spider leg from there. So we're going to try and get at least 1 more spider leg, so that means when we do Path 1, if we get 1 or more spider legs from there, we'll be able to make 1 or more actual full spider legs. So let's see how this goes. And we get another Araxxor's web. This was done on Path 3. I just did like 5 kills of Path 3, just like testing it out, comparing it to Path 2. And honestly, I don't really know which one I prefer. I feel like on Path 3 you take a lot more damage just from not standing in the light, like running to and from the light. and when you leave the light in order to explode the eggs. I felt like you just take a lot of unnecessary damage there. But we're still doing it pretty comfortably at around 140 in rage. I guess we'll see how we feel about it when I get to the higher in rages, because the damage that I take is going to go up by quite a bit. And if it's too difficult when we get up there, I'm probably just going to reset my progress with a pheromone. But for now, we're getting really lucky. I mean, we've gotten, what, 2 webs and 1 fang in the past, like, 20 kills. And also the middle spider leg piece, so I'm getting really lucky here. There's nothing to complain about. But it would be really good if we could get another spider leg piece from path 3. Ooh, a nice Onyx bolt drop. That's around 1.3 mil. First Onyx bolt drop of today. We're currently around 2 hours and 20 minutes in, so up to now it seems to be going pretty damn well. Hopefully we just keep getting drops like this, because the drops that are valued like 500k to 1 mil plus just add up loads over time. If I remember correctly, I think there's 3 normal loot items that can get you over 1 mil, and that's the Onyxes that we got earlier, the Onyx bolts that we just got now, and then Serenic scales. And then of course you may be able to get some items off of the rare drop table, but unfortunately I have not received any of those yet, but I'll keep you updated if we do. Ooh, here we get our first Araxxor pheromone, which is around, what, like 2.1 mil, I'm guessing? Pretty nice considering we got this only on like 40% in rage. Hopefully we'll end up racking up a few of them before this week is over. I'm actually probably going to end up using this later on down the line, because I don't think at this point I'm going to be able to deal with anything past like 220% in rage maybe. But hopefully by the end of the week, fingers crossed, we will be able to. Okay, so we're done with the 5 hours of Araxxor for today. I already know we did get extremely lucky at the very beginning, but ever since then, we only managed to get that 1 extra web. And what I mean by only is the only other big drop, aka the web that we got, is the only one that I actually recorded properly. But as for the other items, let's check out what we got. So from the first 5 hours and day 1 of Araxxor, we ended up getting 22.1 mil. Now bear in mind, I'm not taking into account any supplies that we used. Everything this week will be valued on revenue only, so this isn't profit, this is just the money that's coming in. I don't really think we spent that much on supplies anyway. I think the main costs were my like 3 deaths I think I got, and that totaled up to around 2 mil. And then obviously the rocktails that I used totaled to around 1.5 mil as well. And then if you factor in the super restores, I think everything added up to a total of like 5 mil. So yeah, not too much off the total value there. But let's check out the drops individually. We did end up getting 2 Unca Onyxes, which added up to a total of around 4 mil. We got 159 Sourdough Brew Flasks, and that added up to a total of 3.6 mil. 2 mil for the Araxxor pheromone. 224 Water Talismans, which added up to 1.7 mil. 160 Hydrix Bolt Tips, which added up to 1.5 mil. 4 Serenic Scales, which added up to 1.5 mil also. 14 Magic Seeds, which is another 1.4 mil. 1.2 mil in cash. 155 Onyx Bolts, which were 1.2 mil, 225 Grimy Lance, which is around 700k, and then the rest of them you can just see for yourself. Just a few extra little drops. And then we move on to the right hand side where we got the Spider Leg Middle, 2 Araxxor Webs, and 1 Araxxor Fang. So that is a banger of a start. You can see how I got motivated just because I got those 3 amazing drops at the start. So all we need now is the Spider Leg from Path 3 and Path 1, and we'll be able to make a Noxious Scythe, and that will boost up the price check by an insane amount. But if we were to work out how much money we actually got from these items on the right, obviously they're not worth anything because you can't trade the Araxxor Web or you can't trade the Spider Leg Middle. You actually have to make it into a Noxious weapon before you can sell it, but they do kinda have a value. For example, the full Spider Leg, once it's built, is worth around 142 mil, and there are 3 pieces, so that means each piece is worth around 47.5 mil each. So essentially this drop that we got here is worth around 47.5 mil. And like I just said, the full Spider Leg is worth 142 mil. If you were to add this web onto the full Spider Leg, it would transform into a Noxious Longbow, which is worth 147 mil. So that would mean a total of a 5 mil profit. So each of these webs is worth 5 mil. And then if you were to do the same for a Fang, it would turn the 142 mil Spider Leg into the 219 mil Noxious Scythe. So this Fang alone in like raw value is worth around 80 mil. So if you were to add everything together, the Spider Leg piece, the 2 webs, the Fang, and the total price check, we made around 111 mil this episode. And that's just in 5 hours, so we made around 22 mil an hour. Oh, and also I forgot to mention, we only killed around 35 of them. So that's only like 7 kills an hour. And that just seems very low. I think it's just because in the beginning I was getting used to it again. In the end it was getting a lot better. But yeah, I can't actually wait for day 2. Obviously we're not going to be getting a Fang every episode. I mean, if we do, that would be amazing. But let's be honest, it's probably not going to happen. But if we can get multiple Spider Legs from both Path 2 and Path 3, we actually may end up being able to make multiple Noxious weapons, which would be insane. But yeah, that is the end of the first episode. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed playing it. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe down below. And as always, thank you for watching, and I shall see you tomorrow. Peace.